we're going to look at that situation very much at the moment with our guest live in the studio with us. But before we get right into having a discussion with our guest, the FCT minister has weighed into the situation, and a lot of development has emanated from that.
Yes, indeed. We're now seeing the FCTA's demolition of some structures, saying, of course, the FCT minister said the buildings were obstructing drainage channels and contributing to flooding, right? Which brings us to the debate about a fundamental question. What is happening now? Are we dealing with a rainfall problem? Is it a planning problem? Is it a construction or weak enforcement, that's making Abuja more vulnerable to flooding at the moment? Those are some of the issues we're going to try to unpack this morning. And we have joining us an expert in disaster risk reduction and a retired director of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, in the person of Mr. Kayode Fagbemi. Good morning to you. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Pleased to be here.
All right. Now, let's start with the flooding that we've seen across major parts of the city. From your experience, what are the major factors, that have led to this? Is it the intensity of the rainfall? Because earlier there had been this advisory from the hydrological services that it was going to be really heavy this year. Or are we looking at a problem with drainage or maybe urban planning? What exactly has gotten Abuja to this point?
Thank you so much for your questions. And, human beings are very good at passing blames. We pass blame, it is a natural disaster. It's not natural. It is an act of God. It's not an act of God. And the blame system came from Adam and Eve. Oh, Adam, where are you? Have you eaten of the fruit I gave to you? Oh, it is the wife you gave me. The problem, it is we. I knew this 3 years ago when I saw that they have tampered with area that should not have been touched. Just as we are here, you look right now, you see the top of the hill there, it's being built. It should not have been built up. Now, when Abuja was to be capital of Nigeria, geographers led by Professor Mabogunje with Professor Ologe and all that, they were made to select a site. They got to Gwagwalada. If you notice, Gwagwalada is flat. They didn't choose for it. They just, this is the best place to put the capital. This place is undulating. You see a lot of hill, a lot of lowland and all that. And they recommended, they said, keep development of the valleys. Keep development of the valley. You have a valley before us here. There is a development there. Keep development of the hills. You are not, because when you build on the hill, you are removing, there are trees there. Right. You remove the trees. You now put permanent structure. The water cannot infiltrate. And so when I saw some 3 years and decided allocating those valleys, I said, there's going to be crisis. I was on AIT and all that. I said, there are going to be crisis in future. There will be flood. I don't even know it to come soon. Because these valleys are the areas where all the water flowing from all the hill, every high will come to the valley. Now you have built it, you have made it impervious. No, the water will find a level. So when you allocated the valley, what you do is that you block the water from coming to the valley. And so it is not the increase in the rainfall. It is not a natural thing. It is because we have tampered. We have tampered with the land cover and the land use. I want to explain to you, before Abuja became like this, we have we have what we call the hydrology, the waters, all the rain that falls, they go somewhere. There's a way they flow. But you come, you block everywhere, you have built everywhere. Every area you have built up, water can no longer percolate. It cannot infiltrate. Then you also leave some areas of your compound so that the water from, that should have, you have maybe 1,000 square meters of land, you have built about 700, the 300, you should leave some 200 so that rain coming to your area, some can percolate, but you have paved it all. Interlocking, cementing, everything, the water. So you direct the water to the road, and that's what you see. Everybody directs their own runoff to the road. And so this is the problem. It is not about the NEMA prediction. It is about our tampering with the land use and land cover. And we need to do something fast. The recommendations is that, because it's an undulating, all the low land should be left. But do you see what they have done? As I was coming, I saw area that have not been built for many years. And if you recall, there was a minister some times ago that came and demolished structures in those areas. They were called gardens then. There were those gardens. They were built up by people that didn't have certificate of occupancy. They were not allocated directly. So they built the place up. And so what the minister said, we didn't give you this, put it down. But now it seems as if, because some of the structures I'm seeing in those areas, that those people now have documentation, they have allocation, full allocation, which means that they have tampered with the natural resources, the natural area that should have been left. And when you tamper with it, water will find its level. And that's what you are seeing now in FCT.
All right. So there's a plan for the city.
Yes.
Which the Federal Capital Territory Administration has access to. They know the plan. But they're also the ones who are giving approval for some of these structures to be erected on the valleys, for instance, that you mentioned. What does that tell us?
Yeah, it tells us that somebody did not understand what the consequences of the actions. Because what is happening, what I have seen is that it seems as if people don't want to leave the city any longer. The little spaces available in the city, everybody is putting something. I can see in the front of me directly. I see, people go to the valley. What are you doing in the valley? Of course, you have the capacity to do a lot of piling, put a lot of money there and build. But it's going to cause problem in the future, because the valley should act as a sponge for the city. That is where the water goes. Those are the valleys that should collect water, with a lot of the water coming from the hill, from everywhere. And so we run to the valleys naturally. But where will they run to now? They will be on the roads and they will cause flooding. Because the person who has that big structure I'm looking at now, will not want. So he will going to build an embankment, push the water back to the roads. And that's what's happening. So somebody did not understand that, or that, civil servants, they are very clever. They have some written rules. The written rule, two actually. They said, one, the boss is always right. And number two, when you think that the boss is wrong, reverse to rule number one, which says again, the boss is always right. So you don't want to confront your boss and lose your job. We don't know if the directors there or people there may have advice, and the advice are not taken. So somebody did not understand the consequences. If you know, I will, after I leave here, I will try to visit where they are demolishing. They must have put in millions of money in that area. And that's what will happen. The demolitions should go back. I will name some areas as we go forward where they have allocated between zone, Wuse Zone 5, between Bega and Wuse Market by the left. It used to be a garden, a park, trees are there. And when we are talking about sustainable city, we are talking about living green areas. The green, they absorb, the carbon we are releasing, then give us oxygen. You demolish, you put structure there. This city will be flooded. This city will become hotter as time goes on. The hills we are bringing down, there will be landslide in future, because all the water coming from the hill will bring these buildings down, and then there will be what we call disaster. So we normally say disasters are not natural. Some people say, oh, this is a natural disaster. No. It is hazard that is natural. Disasters are human-made. They are human-induced. It is our actions and inactions that leads to disaster. And that's what we are seeing now. Thank God that maybe nobody died, but this water will increase in future. The water you saw, they will surely
higher
increase.
than this level.
Yes. they will increase because they have not finished building those valleys. I saw in a minister's hill in Matama, I saw that when I saw the valley, in Mississippi, and I said, what are they doing here? This place should not be touched at all. And I saw the hill being brought down. All the rain that comes, where will they flow to? They will flow somewhere. So they go to the natural areas where it is the lowland, the valley. And they should have been in those areas. If trees are there, of course. You see, when there is a flood, it doesn't kill anybody. It doesn't affect your property. It doesn't destroy the environment. It's not a disaster. So disaster is not just flood. It is the one that destroyed the environment. So if there is a lot of those floods in the valley, there are no houses there, only trees are there, you will see they will even push down some of the trees. It's part of the ecosystem.
I like that you mentioned pushing down of trees, because in recent times we saw even trees being cut down to give way for billboards as well.
That is another thing. That is what will increase the carbon. The carbon in the city. We are going to have
heat wave.
The heat. There will be heat in the city, because what the trees do for us, they absorb all the carbon dioxide, and then we give us oxygen. But we just cut them down as if they are not important. They are important to us. They bring life to us. So we are talking about climate change. Yes, climate change only increases what we get on the ground. And that's why we need to make our city a sustainable city. We are not now. We are not. How many electric car are we using? Most of us were born. As I was coming to the studio, some cars with a lot of carbon monoxide, some vehicles and all that. And then we're not having enough of electric cars or energy-saving cars. We're having all this, and we're cutting down trees, and we're building. We're not planting other ones. Those are the crises we are going to face.
Mr. Kayode,
yes, please.
Where do we go from here? What's the solution? As regards to NEMA now, the agency, it's an emergency that happened. There are people who went on to events on Saturday. When they came out of the event center, the cars they came in with has been submerged in water, and they couldn't even get home with those cars anymore. This has happened again, and it's looking like what you said, it's still going to happen and even get even worse than this.
Correct.
So what can we do? What is the solution? Demolition of structures. The minister has said from now to Saturday, a lot of structures are going to come down. Is that the solution? Because if you also go ahead to ask the owners of this property, they'll tell you they have their C of O's. They have the rights document to back why they have those property. Who allocated the properties in the first place is coming from the authorities. So what is the solution to this disaster that we have?
Thank you so much. I hope the minister has the political will to demolish all the structure that should go down. Part of it is, the police, they are building a lot of structures in Zone 5. Just after Bega Junction, they are building that structure there. Then there's another one, maybe hotel, I don't know what they're building. They needs to be parked. If the political will is there, I will give kudos to him. What you need to do as individuals, there's what we call risk transfer. You cannot go to NEMA and say, NEMA, my car got destroyed, come and pay me. NEMA is not an insurance company. So transfer your risk to insurance company. You are no longer going to do third-party insurance, pay 5,000 a year. No. Pay comprehensive. If those that have the car have comprehensive insurance, the insurance company will pay them. So we must learn now to insure your house, to insure your cars, to insure your property, because that's how to transfer risk. Because if you are waiting for government to compensate you, government cannot compensate in the first instance. But because of the inaction or inaction of the government, disaster occurs. So the way to go is, as the minister has started, that's a good way. It's a good way to start demolishing and making sure all the valleys are left as they should be. I agree with him to some extent that some of those gardens, while with they've been with criminals who are there, we turn them to joints, pepper soup joint and drinking joint. No. They should have been recreation parks. They should have been made clean, neat, so that the criminals are not hiding there. But that doesn't mean you should change to building permanent structures, high-rise in the valley. No, where because you're able to favor somebody and he is able to achieve something. But what happens with the water? Where do you? And another thing, all the drainages. You know, in some areas of Abuja we have underground drainages. Many of them are blocked. They should remove all those and clear the drains. Make the water, give them access. Water should have free access, right of way. That's what you need to do.
But those buildings that will be brought down and demolished now by government, will the people get some sort of compensation?
If they have the CFO, if they have the certificate of occupancy, somebody has allocated it to them, somebody has given them power to build, has approved their plan, and then, we are sorry, they should compensate them. They should be compensated. But if it's an illegal structure, of course, you are. That was why when the Obasanjo regime, they were not compensated. They said, no, you are building illegal structure. And that is another thing. You see how disaster transfer resources from the poor to the rich. Do you know why? What happened to, where is Maroko? What is Maroko called today? It's called Lekki. The poor people were there. Oh, this place is flooding. No. They demolish it. And they gave it to the rich people now. We have a plot of land, there are millions, and then you give it to the rich. They still being flooded. Okay, so you took it away from people who built there illegally and were doing business or sleeping there and all that. You now give it to a company to build heavy structure, high-rising in the valley. That is not acceptable. The hills, nobody should tamper with them any longer. As I'm looking at Minister Hill from here, I'm not happy with what I'm seeing. Yes, they are there, enjoy. But in the future, there will be landslide there. It will cause problems.
You're part of the conversation, very much part of it. You can let us know. You have questions to understand how this is. You're even affected, your cars, your house is affected. You can let us know via the phone line. You're listening to us via the radio, is Real 99.3 FM. You can text us or go to our live broadcast on YouTube, the Real Broadcasting Network, and leave your comments. But the number to dial is 09062029933. We've got limited time, but we can take one or two calls of yours as regards to the flooding that happened over the weekend in Abuja. And we have Mr. Kayode in the studio with us, helping us understand all of these problems and how we can get out of it. Now, the phone line again is 09062029933. Now, Mr. Kayode, back to you now. We've been here before. There's been demolition in the capital before. People lost their homes and all. And here we are again. There's been an order to demolish, some of these buildings going forward, even up to Saturday and even beyond. How can we permanently solve this problem and not get back to it again?
That is, it is, we've been serious. We've been serious. What I've seen in the last few years is that it seems that every available small space people want to build, they don't want to go outside the main city, Matama, Gariki, Wuse, they don't even want to go there, Asokoro. These are the people want to be now. Every small areas, you remember that even when government built some building over 30 years ago, 40 years ago, they left spaces. Some of these spaces they left, have been converted now. Where do we go from here? It is that we should ensure that nobody tampers with area that should not be built, no matter how highly placed you are. Don't allocate it, because that is about sustainability. If we encroach natural floodplain, it will lead to disaster in future. And it is not because the rains are increasing, it is because you have gone to do the wrong thing. So flood on its own is a natural phenomenon. Yeah, there will be years there will be increase in rainfall, there will be years there will be less rainfall, but make sure there's enough provision. And we need to now make if you know that the drainages that were made many years back. I have not seen drainages being made in Abuja of recent. No. I've not
So
seen.
all of this infrastructure going on, the roads being built, we're not building drainages alongside?
That is the thing. In the city, I cannot see. I don't know where drainages have been built. So we need to expand the one that have been built because we are having increased runoff. And why should everybody pay for its compound?
All right. Quickly, we'll take this call from Bode from Yanya. Good morning to you, Mr. Bode.
Good morning, Miriam.
Good morning. Let's keep it very brief.
Miriam, your guest has just said this call. I think some time ago, in the thing that Tama is talking about, if you look at Amazon, just close to front of once you come out, that valley has also been built. The drainages has not been taken off. If you go to Otaku Park now, just in front of OP, I'm saying it specifically. See the water coming out there, nobody cares about it. The entire drainage there has been blocked. The Metama itself must every space be built on. Those places that we are demolishing the Aero 5, there was a purpose why those places were demolished.
But you got a question?
The entire
Go straight
place has been
ahead.
built.
We're almost out of time, buddy.
So let's do the need for that. Why? Just like what he said, it will come back and haunt us.
Thank you for your contribution. You can also leave your comments on our live feed on YouTube channel, the Rebroadcasting Network. Let us know. But we still have Mr. Kayode in the studio, of course, letting us understand all of this disaster that you said. Now, they are not, God-made; they are handmade, right? And you have also said build away from the city center. There are also other satellite towns you can go ahead and develop. Exactly. People can go to Gwagwalada.
Exactly.
There's Kuje. People can go over there. You mustn't be in Maitama. You mustn't be in Guzape or in Asokoro.
Exactly. And we need to know that we need to make this future sustainable for the future generation.
Okay.
It's not just for us here. Right. What are we leaving for our children?
Apologize. We have Edmond on the line. Good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
Very well. Quickly, 30 seconds. Edward from Wuse.
Yeah, actually, I am not holding brief for those who beat along the river line, but I think the government should go beyond this. You know, some of these river drains have been filtered up by sand for many years. So I think government should have gone beyond this by dredging all the river channels within Abuja so that they can create a volume. So that if this water is coming, instead of overflowing, they can be accommodated within the river channel. I think that's what I know is being done in most countries. Some of the channels are filled up over the years. So I'm sure that Abuja River has not been dredged over 30 or 40 years. And I'm surprised that Wike is the one who is complaining about encroachment. He is the one that is championing it.
All right.
All the guidance he has provided them.
Thank you, Mr. Edward.
So he shouldn't be the one who will be campaigning for this.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your contribution, Mr. Kayode Fagbemi. Thank you so much for your time on the program this morning. 30 seconds, your parting words now for the Abuja people.
Thank you so much. I just want everyone to be prepared. Mm-hmm. You should not leave it for NEMA, leave it for FCTA, emergency management. Be prepared. Make sure that you know what to do when there's flood, when there's fire. Read and update yourself. Have fire extinguisher in your house and insure your house, insure your vehicle. Transfer your risk to insurance company.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kayode Fagbemi, an expert in disaster risk reduction and retired director of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA. We do appreciate his time on the program today, and that's how much we can go. We appreciate you, your contributions, your call, and for tuning in today. We come your way tomorrow again.